I'm a senior, I'm an English major, and I'm doing a thesis for the English major called The Galway Rambler, Anthony Raftery and the Roots of Irish Cultural Identity. And I got into this because I actually play Irish music. I play the flute and the tin whistle. So I'd heard of Raftery. He's a blind poet and fiddle player. He was born in 1779 in the county Mayo in Ireland, and then he went down to Galway, and he wandered around Galway for the rest of his life. So I'd heard of Raftery because he composed a lot of songs and a lot of stories during this time, and I actually play a couple of the songs that he composed, but I didn't know anything about him. So I'm looking into Raftery's life and kind of how he affects modern Irish cultural identity and why people find him so interesting. Specifically, I'm looking at Douglas Hyde and Lady Gregory, who are two really big figures in the 20th century, and they discovered Raftery's works. And they looked at him from kind of a bardic perspective. Raftery was known as one of the last kind of wandering bards and poets in Ireland, and Douglas Hyde and Lady Gregory, they took that and they just kind of ran with it, and they compared him to Homer back in the day, the original bard. They also kind of looked at him from a perspective of Ossian, who was one of the Scottish bards. So it's really just kind of an interesting cultural study, seeing how music and songs get passed on from one tradition to the next and from generation to generation. So there's also going to be a performance component of my thesis because I play the flute and the whistle, as I said. So I'm going to try to play some of his songs and maybe recite a story or two, and hopefully people can see that Raftery is still having an impact today.